Hey traders from around the world, it's Jeremy Alexander Newsome with your Monday real life stock review. Checking out the broader markets and really not too crazy much going on today. Pretty small candle and really tiny little move on the SPY. Usually days like this, again, I normally lose. I did end up winning very small on the day, 0.3 Rs, which takes me to about 1.6 Rs down for October. We still have a lot of October left. Realistically, this gap will fill on the SPY. Same thing I said about this one back in September. The question is just when. I don't know if it's going to be, this week, or probably this week, but I don't know. Not sure yet. Here's the hourly chart. It seems like we'll fill next week, but if we do have a nice gap up tomorrow and really take out this resistance and start breaking out of this resistance on the SPY, should be good to go. But as looking at the hourly chart, it would make a lot of sense actually for us to pull back into about 294, and then that could be a decent little buying zone overall. The Qs kind of have like a cute bullish day for the most part, but again, hanging out. This could be a flag pattern, but normally a pretty low volume day. Happy Thanksgiving to all of my traders up there in Canada, but also Columbus Day. So just light volume on the markets in general, unless of course you were trading Apple, which my buddy Mark Rockwood snagged some gains on Apple today. Apple, new all-time high, 238.13. And bottom line, this trend is bullish in every way you slice it. Amazing. Amazing, amazing. The iPhone 11 changing the game again. Doing some work, looking good, feeling good, trading strong. Buy the dip on Apple. Really excited to see it. And earnings season is right around the corner. Netflix is going to be kicking off tomorrow. Tomorrow or however you decide it, tomorrow night, Wednesday morning. Netflix earnings is here, and we'll see what happens with this little debit spread, bull call spread, long put, and then short put down here. Keep an eye on Netflix. I mean, it can gap in really any direction at all, but it didn't do much at all today. Just inside candle. Very interesting to see how it plays out, but it does have room to go up or down. Netflix right in the middle of the long-term moving averages on the weekly chart. So the 100 and 200. So if it gaps up, it could very easily fade down, and if it gaps down, it could very easily fade up. Speaking of fading, Tesla up 3.5% today, broke above the 200 simple moving average for the first time since March. And if you're talking about a volatile stock, I mean, look at this thing. So Tesla was at 320 in March, and then it went from 320 to 180 in May, 180 to 250 in July. All the way back down to 220, all the way back up to 250. I love the volatility of the stock. It's amazing, especially for active traders and for option sellers. So anyway, shout outs to John Alonzo, Michael Ramsey, and Tony for making some good, nice R's on Tesla today. This was on the watch list all morning, and those traders did really, really well, playing it bullish. Right now, we're just hanging against the 200 simple moving average on the daily chart. So expecting a little bit of a pullback tomorrow, and then earnings next week on Tesla, which will be all the rage. I don't know what's going to happen, but most likely if it does gap up, I'm expecting it to have a slight pullback and then absolutely start crushing higher. And if we gap down, which makes the most sense actually, we probably could trade down, trade into some support, and again, eventually bounce. But we'll find out. I really don't know. Right now, this trend is starting to look really, really good. Keep your eyes on maybe a little bit of a retest tomorrow and then a bounce on Tesla. All right, I did have a request for SEAX, I believe. SEAX. What ticker is that? Is it SAEX? SAEX. All right. So SEX, C Exploration Holdings. Gotcha. So pretty much a penny stock on C Exploration Holdings. I mean, stock has just been going down, 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 down. And if you're playing it, you're, just trying to be a hero, trying to pick the bottom on something that doesn't really have any bottom, at least at the moment. So normally the way I play these is pretty simple. I tell you, what's the risk? So stock right now is trading at 215. How low could it go? 0. And that becomes my risk profile. So SAAX maybe could pull back, probably will pull back tomorrow. and then get a little bit of a bounce, but I would not personally trade this one. Looks like one that's just going to keep slowly inching lower over time. Facebook, inside day candle today, bouncing off the 100 simple on a weekly chart. Again, really nice head and shoulders pattern, but only if we close below the 100 simple on a weekly chart, which is 174. And we'll see if that actually does end up happening. Square today, didn't trade this one, but kept an eye on it. Very small bullish candle, hanging out, trading sideways, doing its thing. Really nothing too strategically interesting at this point. Uber, though, does have a double bottom. UBER, Uber posting a little bit of a double bottom. Just something to keep in mind, right? Definitely not a penny stock, and I do like the close, so we'll keep an eye on Uber to see if we get any kind of bounce on that one. And I did squeak out half an hour on LYFT with this one white soldier candle. Came in on Friday and barely squeaked a little bit of a higher high today. So I'll keep an eye on LYFT as it's just been getting absolutely pummeled, but I think it could maybe make a small day trading pop up to the 20 EMA, maybe rotate back down and then start slowly accumulating. I think an accumulation process is going to start taking place on LYFT. And last but not least, here's GoDaddy. Got the $50 January contract put sales on GDDY, and this daily chart, really nice one white soldier candle on GoDaddy with some upper shadows. That's looking pretty good. And overall, I actually do like GoDaddy as a long-term investment. Don't have any position in it right now, but we'll see. Maybe if I get put some shares at 50, cool. And if not, I will. I mean, we've done a few put sales on GoDaddy before in the past, but this stock is really just starting. I mean, 2015, nice looking trend, a little bit of distribution. There's a long way to go for GoDaddy to go in the next, let's say, 10, 20 years. But obviously with the Super Bowl upcoming, I like to be bullish coming into the Super Bowl on GDDY. Ahmed wanted me to look at some individual stocks on the Saudi index. Okay, so let's see if I can do that. I think I can track that down. So 1120, I think I can type in 1120 and that should pull up. Yep, there it is. So the bank, whatever this bank is, 1120 for Ahmed, I can pretty much chart anything, man. Thank you for the request. You did have a massive drop in 2016. This is a bank, but what's interesting to note, you had a massive, massive resistance breakout at 51.18, and you've also broken out of some distribution here with this really, really nice gap back in January. What we've done at this point is we've come back to retest that gap. So I do like this area, and we are trading around the 100 simple on a weekly chart. So if you're looking at slowly tipping a position bullish, this makes sense. So just do a very small position here. Obviously, most likely a longer term position. And then you could add to a bigger position down here at 50 on a little bit of a pullback. But if you're looking at going long, this actually is a pretty decent spot to do it. And on the daily chart, you're closing with a very nice high wave candle and tons of volume. So if we do break higher, realistically tomorrow, that could be a decent spot again to start slowly just tiptoeing into some ownership. And if it broke down, then you could expect it to go a little bit lower. All right, 41.90, next ticker, 4190, marketing company. Marketing company today closing below a tweezer bottom candle pattern. So expect this one to likely go just a smidge lower. Here's the weekly chart, and really if we're looking at the same two banks, I mean not same two banks, but same two type of stocks, you'll notice this one hasn't actually come into the contact with the 100 in a while, and we just traded to a super obvious resistance right there. Same exact spot that we sold off before, 179, let's call it. This is the weekly chart again, and it looks a little double top-ish, some really, really good volume spikes coming in here, some closes, and it looks to me like, especially after today's candle, we most likely will retest pretty soon and probably go a little bit lower. So if I was looking at a spot to buy it, it would be the 100 simple, which is about 143.39, and look and be patient until that time. Otherwise, I would expect a little bit of a bear move more often than not. And last but not least, I think you wanted 2020, which is always a cool ticker. 2020, here we go, fertilizer company, nice. So another weekly chart, 100 has crossed the 200, so I'm going to go to a monthly. It looks like it's been an accumulation process. Yeah. So you had a big sell-off, 2015, 2016. We've kind of started stabilizing and we're accumulating, but we are trading sideways. So when I say sideways, I mean a big picture. If you bought in 2004, we're sideways, right? We've been making no real progress. So that doesn't excite me about the trade. That tells me that I want to buy it as low as possible. So if I'm looking at this weekly chart, my buy zone would be around $74, somewhere down into here. That'd be a decent little buying spot. Here's the daily chart, and right now we're just, yeah, we're really, really sideways. So anytime I'm trading a sideways position, I'm just looking at buying it as low as I can. The daily chart kind of looks double top-ish. So as it looks double top-ish, I will expect it to possibly trade down to 72, 73, 74, somewhere around that zone. And if you're looking at buying it, that is where I would. Beautiful. All right, awesome. Thanks so much for the requests, ladies and gentlemen. Get more requests in. I'll be back Wednesday for your next stock review. And until then, love life, and trade it.